Welcome to the Edamame Anime Club, where the only way we'll ever get a girlfriend is in virtual reality. I'm your co-host, I'm Steve, and I'm joined by my two good friends and co-hosts.
Alexander, it's always great to be here.
And Marcus, the fairy tale hero.
I like it, the fairy hero, my favorite.
It's a fairy tale. Thank you very much.
So, what anime are we doing today?
We're doing Sword Art Online Season 1.
Sword Art Online Season 1. Yeah, so you brought this to my attention.
I did.
I've never seen it, and I'm actually glad you brought it because it was legitimately on my watch list.
Yeah, so I don't even know what even brought it up. I was just like, let's think of some anime. I was like, Sword Art Online, you seen that one? It's been 10 years, by the way, since I've seen this anime.
Yeah.
So, you hadn't seen it, so it just seemed like the natural choice.
Yeah, and did you see it with him?
Yeah. I watched it with him for the first time.
Did y'all watch it like a continuous fashion? Like when it was coming out, y'all were watching it?
No, it had already come out all the way. And actually, I dropped it the moment it hit the fairies.
Yeah. Same.
Hit like episode 15, dropped it.
Spoilers, yeah. We'll try not to do spoilers. And if you don't know, we do our first 5-10 minutes. Our introduction has no spoilers.
Try to.
We try not to. Where we watch a couple, where Alex reads some reviews, we give our review. Before we do any of that.
Oh, shit. What do we got here?
We got us a nice, not sponsored, we got us a nice, tasty selection. We always get a beer to pair with the anime. And this one, I don't know if you're going to get why I got it.
All right, let me think about
it.
Yellow Rose Smash IPA.
I also got me a Michelob because I'm cutting.
Yellow Rose, I don't know. The picture of the damsel in distress. I don't know. It's the closest I'm getting to it.
Marcus, what do you think?
Shoot, I have no idea, man.
Who's brewing this beer?
I don't know.
Lone Pint?
Lone Pint. Oh, okay. I guess I see that now.
Okay, what do you got?
So like Kirito, he's the lone hero, the lone swordsman saving the day.
Kirito, throughout the entire anime, always says, I don't have a team. I'm like a solo player. Yeah. And that's where I got it. Yeah, it was really hard. Beers, for some reason you can't find a beer with the swords on it. But that was closer. That was as close as I'll get it. Did you catch on that, though?
No, not at all.
All right, well, Alexander, divvy him out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this.
You want one too, or are you sticking to your Michelob?
I'm gonna drink a little bit. If I don't like it, I'm giving it to Marcus. He'll drink it. I'll drink anything.
IPAs are one of those things that are always hit and miss.
It's okay to drink alone, fellas.
That's the real message here.
Yeah, so smell real quick. Oh, definitely smells like IPA. All right.
Kampai.
That is great.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. 6.8%.
Pretty fucking good. I ain't even gonna lie. God damn, that was good. Yellow Rose Smash IPA.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
On this one, man.
4.5.
Yeah,
I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
Ooh. 6.8%.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
This is a hefty fellow.
What do you rate this beer? Swirl it in your mouth for a bit.
4.5.
Easily.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
that was good. If you guys get a chance, try it.
Yeah, try it out. And if Yellow Rose Smash IPA or Lone Pine Brewery wants to sponsor this episode, let us know, and we'll do more of your beer.
Holler at me first, guys.
Yeah, give us a 12-pack each first.
Let me know. I'll send you my email. We could get this going.
Solo sponsorship.
All right. So let's get into the reviews. Y'all want the good review first or the bad review?
Give me the bad.
Give me the bad.
You want the bad first?
I want the bad first.
Right,
I want to hear what they got to say.
So if you don't know how this works, I read a few reviews online, and then we each go through our own reviews. So that said, Gavin Woolman,
shout out to Gavin Woolman,
gives this a 3 out of 10, stating, "It's the wet dream of the creator. Ultra powerful hero conquers monsters while accumulating a horde of scantily clad females who are helplessly in love with him." The first 3 episodes, some of the time the animation is glorious, especially in the first episode. When they're showing you the world of Sword Art Online, it is fantastic. And some of the fight scenes are great. The first 3 episodes really show this off. The main character, whilst probably just the avatar for the creator's wet dream, is actually kind of cool sometimes. I enjoyed his moments of badassery. Asuna was pretty damn cool when you first meet her. She plays the tsundere role pretty well at first, but towards episode 10 or so, She increasingly becomes nothing more than the helpless waifu to worry when Kirito is in danger. This is the basic format for the first half. 1. Introduce cute female character. 2. Let us see lots of her breasts and other body parts. 3. Ideally invent some situation that involves her accidentally showing a bit too much of her body, then getting really embarrassed and angry. 4. Invent a random monster for Kirito to fight. The female character must be in need of protection. 5. Have some speech about love or hope or something. I don't know. Rinse and repeat. There's a little bit of sidetrack with some hentai porn, but that's most of the first half. Then we have a similar situation in the second half, but just with the same female character, Sugu, on repeat, while the supposed quote-unquote love of Kirito is all trapped in a cage and is being molested so the creepy people can watch. Basically, most of the characters who actually do things are females, and what they do is have their bodies exhibited for the viewer while they're saved by the all-powerful Kirito, who they then fall in love with. I could go on about this grand list of plot holes, things that don't make sense, the amount of boring dialogue, things that happen, and the fact that I never once feared for any of the main characters. But that's just be the waffle. You either enjoy the misogynistic misadventures of Kirito with a bit of side boob, or you don't.
Wow.
He's not wrong on some of the aspects of it.
I feel that person missed the entire point of the anime.
I don't think I just don't see this like this is an anime lover. To me, it's more like an anime critic. He definitely didn't enjoy it, but he watched the entirety of it.
Yeah.
And he just pinpointed things he didn't like.
I feel like the fan service wasn't even that egregious. Like,
No.
to me, it was like, yeah, it was there on certain episodes, but it wasn't like the way this guy made it sound.
He said hentai. I've only seen a few scenes where it was fan service. Only a few scenes.
Yeah, only a few scenes.
And it wasn't even as bad.
That's
as
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Very little.
Yeah, it's not. On my opinion, it's not non-existent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, of course, you gotta expect a little bit of fan service when you're dealing with anime. Like, comes with the territory, but that's the way this guy made it sound. Nah.
And then the classic damsel in distress. I mean, come on, it's a fairy tale anime. What more do you want? Like,
but Asuna was a badass. It wasn't even like she was a damsel in distress. Only towards the second half, I guess. Yeah, but
maybe.
So, and you know, I don't see the first half and the second half even remotely relative to each other, like close.
Mm-hmm.
They legitimately, in my opinion, could be two separate anime. Totally different story, different plot. To me, it's the only part of it all that's kind of collective is the virtual reality part of it all.
yeah.
So I don't know what this guy's talking about.
No.
Go to the good one.
Hentai. Come on now.
Go to the good one.
I'm gonna say this one's written by a female that just could not help but watching it.
Go ahead and look up Prison School for me, all right? Tell me what you think about that one.
Tell me the love story on Prison
Yeah,
School.
come on now, guy.
That's not a damsel in distress.
girl. We actually got an episode on it. Go check us out.
Yeah, we do have an episode
Shout
on
out.
Prison School. Shout out to that episode.
Mommy
Go check it out and
Anime
comment everything he just said or she said. Yeah. All right, let's read this good one review.
All right, here's a positive review. This one's written by Spartan117. Anime made for RPG gamers. 8 out of 10. Well, I have to say, this has got to be the hardest anime to review and rate that I have come across so far. It is one hell of a mixture, but I did have a great time watching it. It was very entertaining, and that is what really matters. On the plus side, I love the setting and premise, a world where virtual reality has been perfected and MMORPGs truly come to life. The RPG gamer in me was really happy while watching this anime. Damn, I wanted to be in Sword Art Online so bad. The animation was great, especially that of the action sequences. I loved them. Coupled with the amazing soundtrack, and it becomes really epic. The protagonist was very likable and cool. The heroine was hot. Now, on the bad side, the anime felt really rushed in the beginning. It actually felt like I skipped an episode a couple of times. Would have been better if they stretched out the first arc into 24 episodes. It would have been much better. It got a little bit too much lovey-dovey for me later on, which was off-putting. The side characters were good, but they got very less screen time and way too less. It was like the anime forgot about the side characters. And then there was the second arc. It didn't suck as bad as many said it would, but it's still nowhere as good as the first arc. It just didn't have the same feeling as the first arc. The setting in it was cool. It had the fantasy vibe, but the love stuff was lame and pointless. As for the rating, I would give it like this. First arc, 8.8 out of 10. Second arc, 6.5 out of 10.
It's Pretty good.
Pretty valid.
I'd say pretty spot on.
Yeah, pretty valid. There are some things I don't really agree with him on, but no, honestly, he's spot on with the arcs. Like he was really. That's exactly how I felt. Honestly,
Yeah.
I won't get my rating yet, but I mean, really, he that first arc was just amazing. It was awesome. Like honestly,
Yeah.
Second arc.
Second arc, there's a reason I dropped it when I originally watched it. Yeah.
So he had some valid points. What was his name?
Spartan 117.
Thank you, Spartan 117. I agree.
Fellow RPG lover.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the main things I really enjoyed about it. It reminded me a lot of just all the classic RPGs I've ever played. You know, I could name 5 or 6 off the top of my head. But, you know, we're not going to go too much into that.
All right. Are you ready for
our personal reviews?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to go first?
You went first last? I'll go first and then we'll go Marcus and you.
Okay.
I give this 3.5.
3.5?
I genuinely was surprised how much I loved the first arc. I'm a huge fan of love anime,
Of course,
and I
we know
love
this.
slice of life. And it really did. It turned from virtual reality to really just a slice of life. In my opinion, there was a lot of slice of life in it, a lot of love. I really did enjoy that. But then the second arc really threw me for a loop. I'm not a big fan of I like anime to stand alone on one season. And this one could have easily done that at episode 14. Could have stand alone.
You're a big proponent of just anime just ending. Stop.
Yes, exactly. Anime that ends is fine with me. I don't like to carry because it can only, if it's amazing already, it can only get worse.
Can only get worse.
It's rare. It's rare. If you think of anything that's a season 2 or has a part 2 or another 2, I mean, Promised Neverland really did ruin it for me. Wow. So 3.5. But I actually really enjoyed the first 14 episodes, and if I could rate them separately, I would definitely give that like a 4.25 for the first, and then for the second, a 2.7.
2.75.
Yeah, that's
you hated that.
But
much?
I'm gonna give it kind of a round average and say 3.5.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcus.
For me, it was. I'll rate it like a 3.5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the whole first arc was pretty damn good. The whole RPG aspects and just how they went about, you know, they could taste stuff, the NerveGear, how it worked and all that, and you know they had a lot on the line. If they died, they're gone for real. So I thought that was just awesome, just a good premise, I guess, on what it was built on. And but the second arc, the first time I watched it, I was like, there ain't no way I'm watching this. Like it was horrible. But as I watched it the second time, I really didn't mind it. Like I kind of liked the second arc. Like I liked it just as much as I did the first, even though that there was no, you know, I don't know if I should. Is it spoilers?
No, I'm trying to spoil it.
Yeah, even though the way it was, you know, I enjoyed the love story. You know, even the little even the side from the girl liking the guy and all that stuff. You know, like I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. 3.5.
2.5.
3.5 means you didn't enjoy it that much.
No,
well, like,
7 out of 10 is not that bad.
Oh wait, I thought we were going out of 5.
Yeah, we are, but he's doubling.
Yeah, I'm doubling it to make it 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Oh yeah, about 7 out of 10. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Not the best.
Okay.
Not the
Alexander?
best.
So I thoroughly enjoyed the first arc. Right. There's a reason why I recommended it to Steve, even though it's been 10, 11, maybe even 12 years since I've seen it. And I still remembered it. Like it was iconic. Like, you know, some of the scenes like were hitting just as hard, even though I already knew it was coming. If I were to rate the first season, I'd give it like a 4.5. There's nothing I disliked about it. The animation was hitting. I liked the music. Like the intro was pretty badass. The ending outro was okay, I guess. But you know, like I don't know. I could feel it. Like I was getting hype as like the battle scenes were happening. The music was coming on. Like, you know. I don't know if it's nostalgia because it's been like 10 years ago, but it hit just as hard. The second half, you know, I did not like it. I'll admit. Like the first like 14 or like it's like episode 15, 16, and 17, right? The beginning of the second half of the second half of Sword Art Online. I didn't want to watch it. I was just sitting here thinking like, where are the stakes at? Like, you know, like from what just happened in the first half, I'm not enjoying it. But after I've seen it, I actually enjoyed it. Kind of like Marcus was saying, like it wasn't bad. I enjoyed actually the payoff at the end. I enjoyed the final climax of the scene. I'd probably rate the second half of 3.5. out of 5. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 4.0 out of 5 edamames, just right in between.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not. I would recommend this.
Yeah.
I would recommend this anime, and I'd say you unfortunately you do have to watch the second arc.
Yeah.
You have to watch the second arc. You can't just end it on the first arc. You have to watch the second arc.
Yeah.
There's no way around
it ends on too much of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so, in my opinion, you have to watch the second arc. But really, I would, I would recommend this anime.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Definitely.
we got our reviews out. We gave some reviews. Now it's time for the spoiler section.
Spoiler sections.
So, if you have not watched the anime, go ahead and turn us off. This anime ran for 25 episodes.
It's 25. Yeah.
long.
25. Yeah.
It is 25. This is our first ever 25 episode that we did, which is great. I'm glad we did this one. Yeah. But turn us off right now. Go watch the last. Go watch the 25. Go binge it, all 25 episodes, and come back and finish up this episode. All right, let's get into it. So let's jump in real quick with the animation.
Animation, solid. You wouldn't even think it was 12, 13 years old at all. Like it's solid.
Great.
Yeah, they killed it on this one, man. Like the review said, the very beginning and just introducing the world was pretty badass.
One of the things I really liked about it was it would show you the first person perspective of like Kirito, and it made you feel like you're in the video game. That was pretty solid.
No, I agree. The anime was top notch. It's definitely the era of anime I really like. I love the nostalgia of the retro anime. I really like it. It's my favorite. Okay. But this kind of, wouldn't say new age, but right after the retro with the grainy anime, we have this kind of new age anime where it didn't use CGI. It's between CGI and the retro, and it really fits really well. And they did a really good job of introducing the world, and it had that world building aspect that you talked about in previous episodes, which I really like. I mean, it was just a beautiful animation. So animation's top notch.
Agreed.
All right, now you touched base on this a little bit, the intro, outro, and let's get into the music a little bit. So the intro, go with it.
I liked it. Very
first half,
first solid, very solid. First half, the first intro,
awesome,
amazing. I honestly watch it, and I tend to watch like the first 5 episodes. I'll watch the intro. But I found myself wanting to watch the intro because it was so good.
The music itself, like I said, it gets me hyped. I don't know, I could hear it in my head right now.
Yeah, it's great. It's great music. What about the outro though?
See, outro was forgettable.
Yeah, I kind of I was so hyped for the intro that I mean the outros weren't even sticking with me.
I like the outro.
You like the outro?
I liked that. It was a little slower beat. It made me feel like, way to downplay it a little more, and I liked it. But overall, the music, it had the music. If you really listen to it, a lot of the music is that, there's a term for it, but it's like cinema music where it shows them playing, like going into war and the music is bumping. It's that orchestra music that you get. And it's definitely, I forget, there's a term for it, but man, it was just solid. Like they matched it pretty well. And I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
Now, there's no other really big points I'll talk about the music that hit with me.
Yeah.
Other than that, they matched it. Per the scene, when they're going into battle, that they definitely played it on that. But that was about it.
I will say the second intro of the second half or whatever, when they switch it up. Yeah. Nah, it was mid as hell. I couldn't even tell you what was happening. I didn't even want to listen to it. I didn't want to watch it and want to listen to it. Yeah.
It wasn't. It might be mid, but I'll just say it's unmemorable.
Unmemorable.
Yeah. I can't even hear it right now.
I can't hear it either. All I know is that they show the fairy elf stuff. That's about it.
Fairy elves.
Yeah. All I know, the only thing I remember from the second intro is that Sugo pushes Kirito, which it reminded me of one of the major scenes in the anime. So that's the only thing I remember out of the intro.
All right. Now that we got kind of those that I always like to start off with that because it's very quick and we could touch base on that. Characters. Let's get into the 2 main ones first, and then we'll start. If we need to spread out, we'll go. So the first main character, Kirito. What's his English? What's his real name? Is it there? If it's not there, don't look for it. If it's not
Kirigata Suguha. And no, wait, that's not Sugo. Never mind. It just says Kirito.
All right, Kirito. As MC, what do you think?
I didn't mind him. He's definitely the self-insert type. Nothing that's too outlandish that stands out. He's a self-insert, he stands for justice kind of thing, wants to do good. I do like that they make him I want to say he's deceptive in the beginning, but he's lying. He's hiding stuff from people. And it comes back to bite him, but other than that,
Yeah, and I like I liked his character design. I like the way he looked, the way he talked, the way he acted. I like that he was OP, and and it wasn't just like he was randomly OP or he was one of the first original beta testers.
Yeah.
Which is they gave a reason to why he's OP.
And I personally like the OP characters. I'll name a dozen different anime where the character is OP. I like that archetype. Yeah. I like seeing people just fucking smack people down.
I don't like when they're OP without a reason.
Without a reason.
And the only one that actually, and it's ironically funny, is Saitama. Because it's ironically funny because of the way his workout regimen. That's why it's ironically funny, and they make fun of that. And it's talking about these people that are OP for no reason. This one, he's not OP for a reason. They give him a reason. He was one of the first out of 1,000, I believe.
Yeah.
Out of 1,000 people to get to play the game first. So we got to experience the entire run, and he got to level up.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. If you've played like MMOs before and they've released it, like, you've had people that played it before, like these people are just blowing everybody else out. Like they're 10 times ahead of you. Like, and this is what like he represents. He represents someone that's like played the game before and at a really high level. So like he just right from the get go just takes off and he's out of there, which I really liked about that about him.
Yeah.
His design is like it felt like the same thing.
He's generic.
Generic anime hero guy that that saves the damsel in distress type character. But I still really liked him. I liked him throughout the whole anime, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great. I mean, he was a great MC. Better than most. I mean, there's a couple MCs.
Better than most.
I can shit on a couple MC, and you might want to clip this later. Some of the MCs I'd shit on right now. Tanjiro,
easily shit.
Easily shit on. Deku, easily shit on.
Don't like that guy.
I wouldn't shit on Kid though. He's a great MC.
Yeah.
Oh, Shinji.
I
wouldn't shit on Shinji, but
Shinji's
he
like
might cry.
Nah, Shinji's the worst MC.
He's such a bitch. but anyways, so yeah, I won't shit. Kirito's a great MC.
Yeah, I agree.
And I love I guess the rival / love interest here. I think it's great. Asuna.
Yeah.
Asuna. She's
Asuna.
So we should probably get into Asuna now that you're bringing her up.
That's great gateway.
I loved her as a character. I like that the romance is straightforward. I like that they're not playing the whole game like does she really like me? Do I like her? Yeah. Like I like that it's straightforward from the beginning, and I like that she can hold her own. Like she's like the guild leader or like the guild raid leader.
Yeah, she's number 2
yeah.
in the guild, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So, Asuna holds her own. I liked her as a character. I feel like she's fleshed out enough where she doesn't just feel like a random female. Like she has her own personality. Like if you were to mention Asuna, people know who you're talking about. Yeah. They're just not like who or
Yeah, she was my favorite character. And actually, she's my second favorite character. I'll talk about first in a little bit. But she's just a great all-around character, great love interest. And again, I never like it. And I've been watching My Tiny Senpai, and the whole, maybe they will, maybe they won't, pisses you off.
Yeah, it does.
This is not a maybe they will. Yeah. This is rivals, competitors that turn lovers, and I love that aspect of it because it's such an idea that's built around like sitcoms and movies and shows. It's definitely like that's something that's built off that where competitors and rivals become lovers. It's like that thin line between hate and love, and they've crossed over, and it's such a good love story.
It's definitely refreshing because most animes do not just let the love interests get together. Like what was like episode 5, episode 6, like they're kind of becoming a thing.
Yeah, and again, I really love that they actually do have some romance. It's there, and one of the big things I love about it, and I know Marcus, you're ready to jump in here, but the big thing I love about this anime is not just the love; it's the whole idea that this is all in virtual reality, and they're even questioning whether they are like what's gonna happen when they get out. Which I love that idea because I was the whole time like, but it's a game, and really, what's gonna happen after? And that love transferred, which I love. Go ahead, Marcus.
I mean, they're stuck in it for 2 years. Like they built up something real. It's like they're shading the lines between reality and fiction. Like in the game and in real life because they're stuck living in a game. So like they really develop feelings. And Asuna, from the get go, even when he leaves her, he's like, I'm on my own. I'm just gonna do this by myself. And when she comes back and she's just a straight badass, it's pretty awesome.
She actually saves him, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was a great character. All right, who else do we got? There's a couple. There's one more that I want to talk about, and I don't know if there's anyone else you want to talk about. Which is a bigger part in
he's the main villain. Kayaba Akihiko.
Yeah.
Akihiko, yeah, Kayaba, the main creator of Sword Art Online.
He was great. He was a great.
I liked him. Yeah. He was a pretty solid villain. I like that you didn't really see it coming. I was kind of blindsided by it. Granted, I was rewatching it again, knowing he was the villain. But like the way that they pulled it off was pretty clever.
Oh, in episode 1, whenever he was like, they couldn't do the logout.
Yeah.
Awesome reveal.
Yeah.
Awesome reveal, and just an all around big bad. And again, what I didn't like about it was that's like every like beta male's dream right there, to be like ruler of this world, to be the big badass and villain. Like, but because he also self-inserted.
Yeah.
And you find that out later. It's a spoiler section, but I'll bring that up later, where he actually is part of the guild the whole time.
He's in the game himself.
Yeah, like that to me, it's like, dude, come on, pick a lane.
Yeah, that was to me the big reveal. That's what I liked about it. So, like, not only is he the big bad, but he's there in person. Like,
he is a great villain, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah, solid dude, man. He wasn't even that, like, you didn't hate him that much.
Yeah, right.
Like I was like, it's kind of pointless that you're just killing all these people. You didn't have to do that, but
it's like he was like a mad scientist.
Yeah. But still, even when he kills himself,
we are on the spoiler section.
Yeah. When he does himself in, man, you're just like, damn, this dude's pretty badass. Comes back later, just redeems himself, I guess, in a way, with his little AI brain. But
kind of. I mean, there is some redeeming qualities that he has, and just coming back and kind of helping Kiriko at the end.
Yeah, I didn't hate him. I didn't hate him at all.
I didn't hate him. He was a great villain.
Yeah.
No, my
second villain though, I despise that.
Fuck that motherfucker. What's that fucking Chode's name?
Let's see.
Fuck that clown, dude.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
That dude reminds me of every every villain from the 90s like rom-com, where he's like the bad boy. He's such a fucking, oh my god, he's such a bad, a terrible villain to have.
He's a horrible person.
Yeah, just
all
like,
around.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to him than like, but really, it's like he's just that asshole
from the get-go.
Like. From the I don't want you to see her no more. We're getting married. Like there was so much with him.
So sly about it. He's like, hey, I don't care if she likes me or not. Like she's passed out. Like she's in a coma. I don't give a
shit. That is that.
I don't give a damn.
Is that
Seijiro Kikoka? I guess I might be getting the wrong guy here.
All right, let's give him by his gamer name. He's the Fairy King.
Yeah, the Fairy King.
The Fairy King. Yeah, that's what he really is. He's a Fairy King, and his whole arc, everything about him is just so hated. Like he's such an easy person to hate.
Bro, so this is kind of the main redeeming factor of the second half of the season. I liked the way Kirito did him in. Like that shit. Yeah. Like I was like ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked at how brutal that was.
Yeah, Kirito gave him his justice. And I was even telling you when we watched it, I was like, it'd be one thing if he brutally killed someone, but like the way they built this guy up, like he deserved it. Like it felt satisfying.
Yeah. Oh, get it, little bastard.
Yeah.
So but didn't like him. I'll tell you my favorite character in the whole Sword Art Online, and I think you know who it is.
The sister.
The sister.
Yeah.
I love the sister. I love the sister because when you watch the first half, he mentions that, oh, you remind me of my sister. She was really good at like fighting, whatever. And then I thought the whole plot, and again, I haven't seen this. I've never seen it till this. Yeah. I thought the whole plot was going to be him stuck in there being, whatever he is, and some random player ranking up super quick, and it was his sister the whole time. And that he was, because they hinted that she was such a badass. Yeah. I thought she was just going to rank up because she's such a badass. In reality, virtual reality, it just translates over. And that's what I was thinking about the whole time. And then in the second part, she played such a big role in there, she was kind of a badass.
It kind of came to what you were talking about. Yeah. She did play a pivotal role. She was a badass character.
Yeah.
I don't like, and I don't know if this is such an anime trope where they're like, oh, brother, sister,
It's definitely the anime trope. I don't know what it is about Japanese and like cousin, sister, love interest.
But they weren't related, okay?
Yeah, they weren't related, but they're sisters.
Yes, that's the part that I don't like. It's like they always do this, like, oh, you think they're brother and sister, and there's one episode, you're actually not my brother.
Yeah, I
was kidnapped by some villains. They killed my parents, and then Aaron saved me with a pin.
Mikasa.
Mikasa arc. Yeah, so to me, I don't like that shit, but I do like that Suga really is okay. There was one scene that really hit hard. It was a scene where she loves her brother, and it's not working out.
More than friends.
And then she falls in love with this gamer avatar, and it's fucking her brother. That shit fucking hit hard, and that scene, it was such a good scene. I'm not getting that when we get into favorite scenes.
You know, I thought they knew the whole time, or at least Sugu knew. But then that scene happened, and I was like, wait, she didn't realize that they're one and the same? Yeah.
Nope.
So I think that's really it for characters. There's a couple of ones here and there.
They're all side characters at this point.
Forgettable.
Yeah, forgettable. They serve their plot points for like 1 or 2 episodes, and then they're gone. The main dude is the black bald bartender. He was kind of a bro.
Yeah. What's his name? Is in there? He should be in there.
Let's see. Agile.
Yeah, he was great. He was more of like he wasn't such a big role.
He drove the plot actually in a few different parts.
Yeah, I gave him the game for Elfin line.
He's the one that he gave him the pictures.
Yeah, showed him the pictures.
So that's what led him to him.
But he did give him the game.
He did give him the game too. Yeah, he gave him the game. It was like, you might want to play this.
There you go. And
it was, I don't want to play this fairy game. And then he ends up showing the pictures. So all right, let's jump into some of the plots in here and the things. One of the big major plots is really right in the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah, whenever he just announces, and I thought that this was a great, like ultimatum, like the stakes are so high immediately from the beginning, and everyone's freaking out. Yeah. I thought the fact that he says, if you can't log out, and if you die, you die.
Yeah, great stakes. One of my favorite scenes is when I gave you all a special item. Go ahead and get it, and it's a mirror, and then they look in the mirror, and it's like, why do I look like myself?
Yeah.
And then they look, and they are actually themselves.
Yeah,
there's dudes dressed as chicks, which definitely happens.
Yeah. It definitely happens in MMOs. So I thought that was great scene, great reveal of the big villain, and really just great reveal of like. The hero, and we get to see kind of a side character as well, because it really starts off with him just training some guy on how to be a badass.
Yeah, for the get.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we move along, we actually find out that the betas are hated.
Yeah, what do they call them? Beaters?
They call them beaters.
Yeah,
beaters.
Yeah, the beaters. So he kind of hides that he's a beta
he
tester.
tries to hide it, yeah.
Because the beta testers are already leveled up, and they think it's unfair, which I think it kind of is. I mean, we're all Tekken players here, and we didn't get Tekken till like Japan already had it for months. And guess who's number one all the time? Japan.
All the Japan players.
All the Japan players.
Yeah.
So like reality is, I feel the pain, but ironically though, he embraces that he's a beater.
See, if I was a beta player, I'd still die. I'd still die, man.
Just risk it all.
I'm like, oh shit, man! I pulled way too many. This is it, guys.
Sorry.
Die at level 12.
Level 12.
I died to like a pack of low-level mobs.
He died to like the pigs. The pigs was chewing at him.
I did like when forget the damn Kirito when they're first like, you will die, and then he just takes off like, I'm going to the first village, like I'm seeking out, I'm gonna get ahead of all these guys. And then he's like, you know what, I'll bring you with me. I think it was Asuna, right? Was it Asuna? He's like
no, there's another girl that he helps, but
oh yeah, it was some other blonde haired.
I was like, we can get out of here.
There's a lot of side characters there that are not very present.
Silica. He saves her in like the woods or some shit, right? Because her group abandons her.
One of the bigger plots that comes, and I think you mentioned it, is episode 3, when that shit gets real. Yeah,
that's when it gets real. Like they're all seem like they're having a great time. Like he's like leveling everyone, and then he like leads his group into a trap, and it's because it's actually Kirito's fault that they all die because he's hiding his level. And they walk into that trap, and that was like to me one of the most iconic scenes.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I mean I think that really changed, and they felt that this is reality now. those people are dead forever.
Yeah. Like Kirito himself understands that after that point.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drives him to be like just by himself after that. Like he doesn't want to be responsible for everyone else's death.
He never wants to be part of a guild or a team ever. And even him convincing him was pretty challenging. So as we move, there's an episode here that I think is really iconic, and it's when we find out that Asasina is the number 2.
Asuna, yeah.
Asuna, yeah. Tekken. Asasina. Asuna is number 2. And they call this meeting, and he just doesn't agree with her.
Yeah.
In first introducing this rivalry with them, he doesn't agree with her. He's like, I don't want to do this. And she catches him like laying under a tree, and he's like, the weather feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, what do they call him? Like the front lines, like clearing squad or something like that.
And I think it's such a good scene because she's like shitting on him, and he's like, come on, lay down. And then she falls asleep. Yeah. And then she takes him out to like go eat. And
because people have been killing people by accepting duels while they're asleep,
Yeah, I thought that was like an interesting aspect of it. Like, even though it's still it's still an online game, and people are sitting there. Because people are skeezy as fuck. Online games, they'll do some stupid shit. Yeah,
and they like to what was it called? Grief.
Yeah,
grief. And like it's griefing to the fullest extent. Yeah. Like if you could kill somebody off. For real, they're doing it, man.
Well, and that brings it a nice point. We find out that, and again, it tells a story, is that if they're in a duel, they can't get killed.
In safe zones.
Yeah. They can't get killed. And then people start dying.
Yeah.
And they start investigating, which I thought this is a kind of a slice of life. But really, I thought this was awesome because the way that they were doing it, it was kind of like, the people that are trying to help, like even the main girl, which I don't even get her name because she pissed me off, but like they weren't actually dying.
Yeah.
They were like
faking it.
They're faking it, and they're using it to kind of go after this one big bad.
Yeah.
And there's ghosts and stuff like they're like, it could be a ghost could kill you in a safe zone. Like,
I personally didn't really like that aspect of it. I thought it was cool, like the mystery aspect of it, but they started pulling that shit off, and I was like, okay. Like,
I thought it was pretty awesome.
It's a video game, and now there's ghosts.
She gets shot in the back. She's like, falls out the window, and they're like, oh my god. And then that dude's running away.
The payoff was pretty decent, but I was kind of annoyed while it was happening.
I really enjoyed those 2 episodes. I love the mystery aspect of it all. I'm glad they didn't stay with that the entire time. I'm fine with just 2 episodes. That's good with me. Right. And they did a really good job of explaining it, and I thought that was really good. There was no gaps in the knowledge that they were getting at. They were like, this is how it works. And and the fact that Kirito figured it out.
He's like, he teleported. I saw it.
It was actually well written in the fact that it could have happened like in game, like the way that they did it all. Like it had like a reasons behind why all that was like valid, how they were killing themselves off, and she was actually, what was it? The knife was stuck in her back the entire time.
Laying down her armor.
Yeah.
One of the things is the way he figured out was that like he gets gifted a piece of bread or something. And he's like eating it. And he drops it and it like disappears. Yeah. And I thought that was really funny, and he figured it out. Yeah. But we start getting into this guild where Asuna and Kirito are kind of in, and they're trying to do a side mission or solo mission with just them 2. Oh, my bad. Solo mission with just them 2, but the bodyguard is kind of relentless, and he's like following them, and she's like, "Oh, I got it." He still follows them, and they actually Kirito and the bodyguard get into a safe duel, which comes back later to haunt him. But they go in this safe duel and they fight, and of course Kirito wins.
Is that when he reveals that he's actually a dual-handed wielder?
No. This is like where he's like, "Hey, dude, like back off, like we don't need you." And he's like, I forget his name, the because he's part of that guild that's like they tattoo themselves. They're player killers.
Oh, the PKers.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's like a death's head or
it's like a skull.
That's later on though, whenever Kirito joins the guild.
Like this is later, but that guy is following her around like, hey, like I'm your bodyguard. You're like, I can't let you go even with this random dude. Yeah. And he's like, you know what, like I'm gonna fight you to take her. And he thinks he's a badass, so he's like, all right, well let's get this over with. And then Kirito just wipes the floor with them.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, that guy is obviously plotting.
Is this the same dude who then poisons Kirito.
Yeah.
Later on,
he's
later
part
on.
of the guild.
Yeah, he's part of the
I
guild.
know exactly.
And then this episode 9 is one of the bigger ones. It's kind of the time where it's called the Blue-Eyed Demon. I'm using my notes right now, and where Kirito saves the group from that boss, and he's forced to reveal that he has this secret ability.
Yeah, okay.
And which I really liked. I thought it was a really good scene. It was awesome. Like, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
And it shows how powerful Kirito is.
And the boss is the Minotaur, right? Is that the same fight?
Is it a Minotaur? He's like blue, and I don't remember.
It's like a big, like, it's the demon he turns into later.
Yeah, he turns into that demon in like episode 17 or 18.
That's
it's like a big, like, I don't even know, like almost like a Anubis type looking.
Okay,
there we go. Yeah, I like that description. So of course he shows his trump card. He beats them. They all know a little bit about him, but now this is where I didn't expect it. The romance starts to build.
It was building up to that point, but here's where they like commit to it.
This is the part. It was building in the sense that there's obviously contention between them,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's this point where he's like, "Let's go back to your place," and of course
they're like shirking off their duties, right?
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be there with the clearing squad on the main front, like trying to clear the tower, and they're just like slice of lifing it up, right?
Yeah. They it's my favorite scene in the anime. Okay. It's like she starts like getting naked and she's like, don't look at me yet. And he was like, well, I just thought we could like sleep, like legit sleep. And Kirito's not a simp. Dude wasn't simping at all. He said, I just wanted to take a nap. Netflix and chill. I just want to Netflix.
Put your clothes back on.
Yeah.
And there's a cool little thing with Kirito where he kills that little that rabbit. It's like a super special item. He gets that rabbit leg and they cook it. She like that's where he finds out she's a really badass cook. She cooks it up.
Like she has the skills. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome because
Yeah, that was. I forgot all about that scene. That's such a great scene because he takes it to that the bartender. And he's like, I can't cook this up. What do you want me to do with this? I could buy it, but you should take it. He's like, I don't know any cooks. And of course, Asuna is like an amazing cook.
Yeah. Next level.
This romance starts to blossom, and they actually do get married in the game.
Yeah, they marry in the game. And I thought it was cool how whenever you marry, you could share items.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I never got married. Hell no. Like, what do you mean? You told me you didn't have those items and we fight every day. Man, come on,
you got eggs the whole time?
You
had over 10,000 gold and I asked you for something?
You made me pay for everything? And you had 10,000 gold? I had 5.
Like, you're going to have this amazing inventory. You marry and she has nothing. You're like, oh, well, cool.
Where's the prenup at?
Sweet deal we got here.
Well, cool.
I didn't get nothing.
You have all this badass shit. You ain't got dick.
She's just like broke. Like, I'm trying to buy a house in this. They could buy houses like 50 stories up.
You had
she lived in the poor area.
She had like one item. It was bread, and you gave it to me and I dropped it. That was your only item. Now we're married. Which I'm sorry, that was funny. They actually do get married, and they get like a lake house.
Yeah,
and they go out exploring. And actually, this is a very pivotal part. They meet their daughter, which, in my opinion, is unneeded.
Unneeded, I agree.
I like that.
It served a plot point. I didn't really like that it was like
mama, papa.
I didn't. It was too much for me.
True, I guess
too much too quick. Now they have a daughter. Yeah. Although it did kind of solidify their like relationship. Yeah, their love. Yeah, and they both dive into it. She's her actual daughter, even though she's like a AI construct.
Well, they didn't know till.
Oh yeah,
which I really like because that also is how we discovered the big bad.
Yeah. It was like a really high level freaking monster or mob. I forget how they run into it.
Oh, that was actually badass.
It's like a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, like this not supposed to be here. And then she's like, oh wait, I'm immortal. And then she goes and just smokes him.
Yeah,
I guess that was a cool scene. Yeah,
they should have banned him right there. I'm like, you just. If I was the leader of that Sword Art Online, I'm like, you just murked a high level damn boss, like. In real in real life, there's like been times where they've gotten a hold of admin powers in games, and there's like notorious stories of where they just go and like they're murdering all the top bosses, and those people get banned. So they ban his ass.
So, okay.
Sorry, I went on a
Yeah,
tirade.
you chill out over there. So after they do this, they have this daughter now that they have, and this is the part where Heathcliff calls them back to action. Calls them back to the guild. This is where we see. He's like, I want you to go with Asuna's old bodyguard. He's all, come on, man. Like, we have beef. He's all, this will work it out. And of course, he gets poisoned.
Yeah.
He gets poisoned.
He calls him back, and he's like, you know what? Like, I think what happens, like you can't have Asuna. She has to stay with us up front. And he's like, well, I'll duel you. Or something like that. Heathcliff's like, if you want her, then we can duel, and if you lose, you join the Blood Knight Guard, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that's where they get into that battle, that duel, and like Kirito's gonna get him, like he's gonna hit him, and he like uses his admin powers to move his shield to be faster, and then strike him down. Yeah. That's where the first part where like, hold on, like something's not right with him.
Yeah, and then again, you're right. Poisoning happens. Of course, Asuna sees it, goes in there, and this is, I don't know if you might be wrong. I might be wrong, but Kirito kills, or they kill that guy.
Yeah, he kills him.
Was it him that he killed him?
Yeah, like he shanked him through the stomach.
Yeah, so he legitimately actually goes after him.
Yeah, I think his thing turns orange, like when he kills him. Like he gets a little, because when you kill in Sword Art, you get like that little orange
status
for a while. Like you're a player killer. Yeah. And I think the guy notes it like, oh, you're like, now you're a player killer.
Yeah, great scene.
Yeah, I loved it.
Now let's finish up this first arc real quick, and this is kind of they go into battle, and of course that guy Heathcliff is like such a badass. And
who are they fighting? What was it like in boss that they clear?
It's like a worm or something. It was like real long because they walk in, and they're like, "Where is he?"
A weird spider.
Yeah, like a centipede.
Yeah.
They look up and he falls down from the which I thought was just awesome.
Yeah,
great.
And he's just smoking everybody, and then like the leaders, they're kind of like panicking, and then Heathcliff's like, "Everybody on me!" Like like which would happen in some real RPG
what would happen
stuff.
in real
Like they bring him in, and he just being a badass, and Kirito's kind of like suspicious.
Suspect.
And then they beat the boss, right? And Kirito like sees an opening and goes like stab him. Right? Like, he goes to PK him essentially.
Yeah. And he goes to stab him as immortal object.
Yeah. So which was great, and that's when he figured out that the immortal object from his daughter.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Admin.
It might be whatever her name is.
Who knows?
It's not important. He goes. And,
it's actually really important.
Super. Yui, voice actor of Orihime.
You told me that.
Yeah, voice actor, great. In English dub, which is what I watch. I know y'all watch it sub.
Yeah.
So, honestly, great scene. This scene hit hard because the scene is basically he knows, and they're gonna. This is it. This is the final battle.
Yeah.
They start going at it, fighting. They're going at it, and he gets stabbed.
Kirito's about to die, right?
Yeah. He doesn't get stabbed yet. Asuna jumps in. He gets stabbed, which, boom! I didn't expect that. I'm like already like
her body like disappears.
Yeah, and he gets stabbed again or sliced, and he starts drifting away, and then of course that whole ghost thing happens again, where he comes back and actually stabs Heathcliff
as he dies. So
he dies.
Die together.
Yeah. And
pretty dope.
They have this scene where they're like on the edge of the world and they see this beautiful landscape and they're talking for the last time.
Yeah.
And that's how it really ends.
That's like the first half of the anime.
And if it ended right there and he just went about his business, I would have been okay with it.
It can't end there because you don't know anything about Kirito, Asuna, like the whole.
Because it's like
repercussions of the world,
there's like 200 players still stuck in
Well,
the NerveGear that weren't dead.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I thought everyone, and if you paid attention, like to the rules and stuff, like it says if you die in there, you're dead. Whoever wins the game, blah blah. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I thought whoever wins the game, now the game's over. Everybody comes to life that didn't die, and everyone that's dead is dead. Their brain is dead, fried. and I think that would have been fine with me being. I would be okay. I was 100% okay with Asuna being dead as an ending because it would follow the Romeo and Juliet ideology of death, of
both
romance.
of them dying together.
Like he didn't die, but I feel like later on in his life he would have felt like that feeling of unrelieving like stress where he never got to be with the one he loved.
Like something's missing from his life.
So it would have been fine with me, but it didn't, and this is where we get in the second arc, which is the fairy tale.
This is why you have to watch the second half because of the way the first half ends off.
And we're gonna not skip through this, but we're gonna.
There's not a whole lot to talk about, to be honest.
They're elves. There's 9 different races, but there's only 4.
Yeah, I was talking about that too. I was like, why is there 9 races and there's only like 3 or 4 they even talk about?
Yeah.
Let's jump into the. Hold up. All right, so I'm gonna jump into episode 15. They come back, and Asuna's in like a coma.
Yeah.
She's comatose.
Kirito's visiting her in the hospital.
It's when you meet the badass villain.
There's the
Fairy King.
There's the douchebag telling him
like,
don't ever see her again.
She's gonna be my wife.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry her while she's in a
I'm
coma.
marrying her in 3 days.
Yeah.
I already talked to her dad, which he works for her dad.
By the way, you're invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good guy.
What a bitch, dude. Anyways, so that's the whole villain, and then the bartender, Kirito meets the bartender in real life, and he says, "Hey man, you got to check out this game. It's called Alfheim." Alfheim. And he was like, "Why do I want it? I don't want this shit."
And then check this out. It's just like a picture, like some blurry ass picture of like someone who looks like Asuna in like a cage.
Which I really like the way they did this. So apparently in the game you can fly, but you can only fly for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Nobody can fly too high. So what they did was they did a makeshift catapult fly trap where they had like 10 players on each other's shoulders flying each other up, so they can get a snapshot of what is the top of this tree of life.
And it's like Asuna in a bird cage.
And it's Asuna in a bird cage. We learned a lot about the fairies, the rules that you can fly for a certain amount of time.
It's okay. I like that. So kind of skipping ahead, I like that. The very first person that like, so Kirito joins the game. He's like trying to figure out how to fly, and he falls down, and he's like falls into like people PKing. And then in this world, in the second like fairy world, it doesn't matter if you die. You can die infinite times.
It's virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's actually the game.
Yeah.
It's not like you're stuck in there, which took away everything you liked about the anime because what's the concept?
The stakes. The stakes.
Yeah,
what are the stakes?
There's no stakes there. So everyone else is just dies, they die.
It was actually kind of stupid because the stakes were that Kirito cannot die because if he does, he's gonna spawn back and then have to run all the way back. And so I can't die because I only got 5 days left to save Asuna because she's gonna get married. Yeah, so he can't die still, but it's not the same. It's not the same stage.
Because she's gonna get married away to the evil guy.
Yeah, she's gonna get married and it's gonna be over with. So yeah, one of the cool things though, a lot of his attributes did transfer over from Sword Art Online.
Again, he's cheating, man.
Yeah,
cheater, bro.
You know, they gotta make him overpowered or whatever. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, no, I like that. And the first, like, I guess, person that assists with him is actually Suga, his sister, cousin, love interest, and she's helping him along the way. Now I'm gonna jump a couple bit in the future.
Yeah, there's no point.
to my favorite scene and probably the whole anime, which is why the fair is whenever. So this time, Kirito doesn't know that it's Suga. Suga doesn't know it's Kirito. Suga in the real life loves Kirito, but she knows that he loves Asuna.
Yeah.
So then so she falls in love with this avatar in the virtual reality world. Twist, it's fucking Kirito.
Yeah. See, I thought Sugo knew the entire time because she was like, "I'm gonna log out and make dinner," type shit. And then like she makes dinner and he's like, "Okay, now you log out." And then Kirito logs out and he's like, logs back and he's like, "Yeah, my friend or whatever made me dinner."
Yeah, family made me dinner.
Yeah, my family made me dinner. So I thought that Sugo knew and vice versa, but apparently they didn't.
They didn't know, and the scene is like she's like crying, she's like getting out of my room. But like the if I don't watch the English dub and the voice acting, along with the emotions, along with like the way they're standing in front of each other, the doorway to me just blew me away, and it's such an iconic scene in my opinion because it was so good. She's like, "I love you, blah blah blah. You mean the world to me, but you love Asuna. I loved you in the real world. It didn't work out, and I fell in love with this avatar, and it didn't work out because it's you." Like just like laying into him, and he just feels so much shame and guilt because he, even though he didn't do anything, he feels it.
Yeah, the dub did really did service.
Yeah, the dub was great.
All right, so let's get toward the end already. Yeah. So really, one of the, I guess the other thing is we get the what was her name? The little one, the daughter. Yui comes back.
There was this weird subplot where Asuna escapes because she watches the main dude like type in the code, and she like, gets out, and she gets like a kind of like a admin card. Yeah. She's like has an admin card, and she like drops it. Right, and Kirito catches it.
Yeah, she has to drop something, so he knows that she's there.
Yeah,
and she does, and he catches it, and that does kind of spark the way he gets into the very end. Which so they start going there. She can sense that her mommy's near her. She runs. They run into each other. She gives him a hug. They do the love embrace, and we get into the final battle, which is really great. I thought it was a great final battle because fuck the Fairy King.
The final battle was kind of interesting. I liked that. So like Kirito attempts to like climb the tower by himself and fails. Right, like there's like 1,000 different fucking mobs that like it's designed where it was impassable. Right, and then of course Sugo and her simp show up. I don't know what his name is.
Dude, I forgot his name.
Just leave him as simp.
So like they work together and they're like revive Kirito, heal him, whatever, and then he makes it through, right? And you realize that this point of the game was never supposed to be accessible. Like it was designed to never allow anyone to get above whatever floor that Kirito's on.
And then he's there, and he does get kind of like these creatures start to like come after him, and then he uses the key card to like go bypass, and then Yui starts like pushing through the walls, and that's the way you get, and then that's where they find her, and then the floor starts to open up, and it's time for the final battle.
With asshole extraordinaire, whatever his name is.
With the Fairy King.
That was my favorite part of
this
the whole
anime. Honestly, this is what made it worth watching the entire season. Like I didn't really like the season. It had its ups and downs, but the payoff of just this final battle was like what like I was okay with watching it. You know, it wasn't an entire loss.
That made it for everything. The whole fairy tale arc. Like that, just how he just smokes his ass. Like, it's just awesome.
Basically, the Fairy King can control. Is like he can control everything. He controls everything, and then there's this part where Kirito gets visited by I don't know his name, Heathcliff, the guy, the main villain of part 1 arc, and he basically says gives him what he needs.
Which is his login.
Which is his login. Which is like his admin login. And now he can control everything.
And because he has the key card.
And he's the one that's like, now he's badass. And he does eventually defeat the Fairy King.
He doesn't just defeat him. He fucking humiliates him. He what does he do? He like turns like his pain receptors on?
Because in the game you have like pain receptors where you can feel the pain more or less. And so when the main villain asshole is fucking up Kirito, he's like, I feel this, like, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, so you can feel it. He's like, eventually you'll feel it in real life, like, and then when he gets flipped on him and he takes away all his powers, he turns his thing all the way to 0. So like he's gonna feel everything like it's real life, and it's gonna affect your mortal body.
Yeah, the first thing he does is like cut his like cheek, and the dude's like what? Like,
he's like, it hurts.
Yeah, a little bitch.
And starts chopping limbs off, and man, I was shocked at how brutal the ending was.
Yeah, that guy got us comeuppance. Like it was, the payoff was well worth it.
Yeah, it was great.
What an asshole.
I like it, and it's not over yet. Not over yet, guys.
Now they get out of there.
So they get out of this virtual reality world, and now he has to go see the love of his life.
Wake up. She's gonna wake up.
She's gonna wake up. I'm gonna go see her, and we're gonna hug and kiss for the first time in the reality. She's probably like, ugh. It was just the game. Chill out.
He probably kissed her and was like, damn, this bitch is breast thing.
Yeah, you've been in coma for 2 years. You didn't brush your teeth.
Not once brush your teeth. What are you doing? And guess who he runs into?
My main man's
the
villain.
What's his fucking name? The Fairy King. What's his real name?
Fuck. I said Nobuyuki Sugo.
Nobuyuki Sugo.
I don't think that's him. I don't know. I'd have to look. And
they actually get into a real life battle.
Yeah, he's like running.
Oh yeah, he's got like a knife. Yeah,
and then you just sing. He's like, "What the hell?"
He starts bleeding.
Yeah, his face is all cut.
I actually thought he died. I actually thought he got like slit open.
I kind of wish that dude would have got him at the very end.
That would have been a great ending. Like, to me, that would have been the better ending.
Yeah.
If Asuna woke up and the dude was like, he was dead from that, and that would have been okay with me.
Yeah.
I would like
just a super dark ending.
Super dark ending. In my opinion, that would be the best. Again, because it's gonna flip the romance of the Juliet and Romeo bullshit. What's his name?
Nobuyuki Sugo. So it was the guy. Sugo. And his the Fairy King's name is Oberon.
Yeah. So Sugo and him getting this fight, and all right, I know I was pretty drunk when I watched this last episode. Does he kill him?
No, he gets arrested and like taken away.
Like he beats his ass. Like he's like, like, all right, now I got you, and then he uses his real badassery in real life because Kirito's the actual like sword battler. So he just starts decking him, smashes in his head, and then knocks him out, I guess.
Yeah. So, and then of course he does run to Asuna.
Oh, he was gonna kill him, right?
He was. Yeah.
It was definitely like a Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Karate Kid 3 where he's like honk. Like it's definitely that kind of feel. And yeah, he lets him live, and he runs back to Asuna, and there's the love embrace, and that's
little kiss.
The kiss at the end.
That's how Sword Art Online ends.
Honestly, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Honestly, I stand by my 4.0 out of 5 rating.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna say with my 3.5, but I really liked the way it ended. I thought it was a beautiful story. It was such a beautiful tale. Honestly, it was such a beautiful love story.
I'll go to a 4.
It's honestly good enough where I'm considering watching the rest of it.
Yeah,
I want to watch
me
Sword
too.
Art Online 2. I want to watch the Alicization War. I want to watch the movies.
Oh, okay, you're cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it was good enough for me to want to continue.
Yeah. I do want to see the gun art. I feel like, I don't know, I'm too invested at this point.
It's the animation is great. I don't see how watching Sword Art Online 2 or Alicization or any of the movies would be boring. Like,
I'm not gonna watch it because I thought it ended on a great note, and I'm gonna leave it at that. That's fine with me.
It's not over.
Even though there's more to it.
Honestly, it's kind of like Attack on Titan. This shit took it came out in 2012 and ended in 2022.
Yeah,
it took almost 10 years to end.
I'm thinking about as a plot. If Attack on Titan, if Eren and Mikasa end together on season 1, I would stop watching it in entirety.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you guys got anything else?
No,
I don't know. What else am I missing?
I'll raise mine to 3.75.
3.75 raise it
because I like the ending that much.
It was such a good. So yeah, guys. Well, you stuck with us for a full hour. While we talked about Sword Art Online. Hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to share, like, tell your friends, smash that like button, and yeah, make sure to follow for more.
Check us out. Check us out.
We're gonna be
doing more anime always.
Check out the other episodes. If you love this episode, let us know, guys, in the comments. Yep. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Later.
Laters.